Hi, I'm Dr. Daniel Woodruff of Neuromuscular Modulation Innovations. If you're watching this video, then you have questions about when do I use heat and when do I use ice? And actually, you're not the only ones. I can't tell you how many times I have heard of healthcare practitioners giving the wrong advice. So let's break it down and make it real simple. First off, ice can never hurt you. Well, sure, if you leave it on for a half hour, you could give your tissue frostbite. But if you apply ice for 15 minutes, it won't hurt you. Heat, however, if applied improperly or in the wrong place, can definitely make your condition, your symptomology worse. So when do we use ice? When do we use heat? Well, here's some simple basic ground rules that you can always remember. If you have a problem in a joint, never put heat on the joint. If it's a muscle, then you can put heat on it. Always put ice on a joint. Here's how this works. When we apply heat to an area of the body, what we're doing is we're taking our blood vasculature and making it larger. You see, that increases blood flow. And an increased blood flow means more oxygen. Oxygen binds to hemoglobin, iron in our blood. And that oxygen is what relaxes muscles. But you know, it gets to a certain point, what we call a saturation point, where you can't absorb any more oxygen into the muscles. They are totally saturated. So 15 minutes of heat is really all you need. But here's the problem. If I open up the vasculature to allow for more blood flow, to allow for oxygen, I'm also allowing for inflammation to get into that area. And this is where people hurt themselves. If a little's good, a lot's got to be better. And so the therapeutic value is done in between 10 to 15 minutes, yet they will sit on it for a half hour to an hour. And what they're doing is they're opening up a superhighway for inflammation. That's why people say, well, it felt good, but then an hour later it was worse than ever before. So if you use heat, you have to use it judiciously. 10 to 15 minutes. Now, ice, on the other hand, takes vasculature and shrinks it, constricts it. Thus, it does not allow for inflammation to get into that area. Therefore, you can see that putting it on a joint will help to get rid of that inflammation. Now, if you're not sure, always use ice. But here's another thing you can do. Put heat on for 10 to 15 minutes. Allow the blood to flow through. And then you put ice on it for another 10 to 15 minutes. So you're opening up the vasculature to allow for oxygen, and then you're constricting it to make sure inflammation doesn't get in there, and what has been there, you will get out. I hope that helps. If you want to find out more about the body and motion and the musculoskeletal system, please come to our website, nmminnovations.com. Thank you.